The president is right, but can we? Can we put politics aside and get through this together as an American people, united in keeping people safe, in keeping people calm, in keeping people reasoned? There's a lot of fear, there's a lot of unknown, but there's also a realization that there are really, really despicable efforts to politicize the coronavirus. Had a fascinating argument with a dear friend of mine this morning about price gouging. And there are 34, either 34 or 37 states that have passed laws banning price gouging. I just got a story from a friend of mine who's trying to get back from somewhere, Romania, I think, or somewhere. And they were on a kind of a spring break trip. And the fare was like $800 or $900 round trip to go over there. Now they're trying to change all their travel plans, get back early, and supposedly, as the story goes, the return fare was $8,000 in coach. There are reports of people selling hand sanitizers and masks and things at an inflated price. And this good friend of mine, Mark Davis, who's a rock-ribbed conservative, says there is no such thing as price gouging. That's stupid. It's the market. The marketplace gets to decide. And it's kind of an example of all the sort of tertiary conversations we're having right now throughout America as we face coronavirus together. It's all, and of course, almost all of the political stuff has been sort of put on the back burner because this is a very fluid situation. And we're learning stuff and decisions are being made left and right. As we know, to try to bring you up to date, last night the president announced a travel ban from Europe. The NBA has suspended its season until further notice after a player in the National Basketball Association has tested positive for the coronavirus. The World Health Organization has declared coronavirus as a pandemic. Beloved movie star Tom Hanks and his wife Rita Wilson have confirmed that they've tested positive for coronavirus while working on a movie shoot in Australia. Iranian, Russian, Chinese media are all pushing a coronavirus bioweapon conspiracy theory. There are actually countries accusing the United States of initiating or launching the coronavirus. There's just an awful lot of drama right now, and there are big decisions being made like this one.
Breaking now on the Mike Gallagher Show.
Congress is officially shutting the Capitol and all House and Senate office buildings to the public until April 1st. In reaction to the spread of the coronavirus, the House and Senate sergeants at arms said in a joint statement that the closure will begin at 5 p.m. Eastern Time today. Now, they will still allow lawmakers, aides, journalists, and official visitors into the buildings. The statement says officials are acting out of concern for the health and safety of congressional employees as well as the general public. You know, it's just so funny because this is one of these issues where we do have kind of a battle that's going on. The battle between a reasonable, non-panicked, calm reaction and not being glib about it. Not just saying, you know, oh, this is nothing and this is ridiculous and there's no, I mean, there's got to be a happy medium. The president reached that happy medium last night when he addressed the nation from the Oval Office. It's only his second Oval Office address since he was president. And the president, I wish everybody could take his words to heart. I understand there are people who despise him. I'm sorry if you despise anyone. I wish we could sit together as Americans and listen to his words, cut number 4 from the president's address last night in the Oval, where he talked about the necessity to be unified, the necessity to get through this together, the necessity to be Americans like we were after 9/11. This is not anything close to 9/11. This isn't even anything close to the flu, quite frankly, right now. I don't know what it's going to become. We don't have a crystal ball. Nobody has any easy answers to any of this. People are struggling with what do you do if you are in school and you're sick. If your kid is in school, after spring break, what do they do? I've got a friend works in New York theater. They're thinking, I think, seriously about canceling Broadway shows. The economic impact of that would be enormous. The economic impact of the NBA suspending its season is enormous. Are these legitimate responses, or is it overreacting? Well, here's the president talking about whatever comes, we should be in this together and put politics aside.
We have the best economy, the most advanced health care, and the most talented doctors, scientists, and researchers anywhere in the world. We are all in this together. We must put politics aside, stop the partisanship, and unify together as one nation and one family. As history has proven time and time again, Americans always rise to the challenge and overcome adversity.
How do you not honor those words? How do you not acknowledge and honor that message? But yet, all I've heard since the president gave his speech last night are voices on the left who hate him so much. He pointed out that the virus originated in China. That's not hyperbole. That's a fact as we understand it. Listen to CNN's Jim Acosta, cut number 7, supposedly reflecting the concerns of people who think that's really xenophobia. Cut 7.
Now, why the president would go as far as to describe it as a foreign virus, that is something we'll also be asking questions about. But it should be pointed out that Stephen Miller, who is an immigration hardliner who advises the president, is one of his top domestic policy advisors and speechwriters, right. Was a driving force in writing the speech. And I think it's going to it's going to come across to a lot of Americans as smacking of xenophobia.
Who's it coming? Is there any American who thought that the president's address was xenophobic last night? Now, that's a news reporter standing there claiming, I think that's going to come across as to a lot of people as xenophobic. What in the world is he talking about? What in the world are people talking about when they say suddenly it's racist to call it the Wuhan virus or the Chinese coronavirus? That's literally what they were all calling it when it first was introduced to the world, even over at CNN. I was watching Fox News last night. I think it was Tucker Carlson played a montage of clip after clip of Don Lemon and Joe Scarborough and all of them calling it the Chinese coronavirus, the Wuhan coronavirus. It's like they had time to think about it, and they realize, oh my goodness, we're missing an opportunity here to bash. Oh yeah, let's call it racist if you call it the Chinese virus, a coronavirus. Unreal. 800-655-MIKE. Here's what we do here when we are fighting the good fight together. Honest to goodness, we are in this as a people. Wild horses couldn't drag me away from the studios this week. I'm so glad to be here with you. I hope you're with us. I hope you call 1-800-655-MIKE.